Well, here in Liverpool, press conference over. It is Smith-Fowler, of course, on Saturday night at the M&S Arena, a fella that knows all about the big fight nights in Liverpool and beyond. Callum, brother of Liam, you've had your own big night, and that horrendous knockout of Castillo, from your point of view, incredible performance against a real tough operator. But what was going through your head when you saw him go down like that?
Yeah, it wasn't nice. I think as a fighter, you always fear the worst, and I think you go from up there realising the fight's over to just worry really that the result's nothing to do with it. Then it's boxing's a tough enough sport as it is, and every now and again you get a bad one, and it wasn't nice. I felt like I was in the ring for like an hour or so, but thankfully he's okay, and I say I can push on and move forward. But boxing's a sport for me. It always has been. I've never been one to badmouth or want to inflict any more damage than necessary. It's always been a sport, and it still is.
Yeah. And Anthony's had a list of questions for you. You've been very excited about interviewing Callum, haven't you? Just to get to know him. Just to get to know him a little bit. Because, Anyway. Yeah. You do look fantastic at the new weight, clearly. And you've been saying it for a long time anyway. And I know you did it all right. You did super middle all right. But it was only a matter of time,
The thing that I noticed about Callum, like before the knockout punch, you hurt him downstairs, didn't you? And I just thought, Callum looked powerful again. He looked powerful again. I know people say, Canelo, it's very different, but it had took its toll. It was obvious to see Callum look powerful again from the off. And that was, listen, you see now the size of him, you think he could easily step up again, but I know you make it work, yeah.
Yeah, no, I felt good, and it's hard to speak about weight without thinking I'm making excuses up. Look, Canelo Alvarez beat me because he was a better fighter than me, and no, there's no excuses there. I just feel the version of me wasn't the version who won my world title or raced through the ranks kind of thing. And I said the minute after the Canelo fight, back in the change room that I was there, I just felt like I lost me explosiveness, me power, and me. I remember early on in my career when I got in the ring, I used to feel huge and explosive, and I used to think the minute I land, I know it has an effect, and I kind of felt like that the weekend. I felt really good, I felt strong, and I think from being in there, I felt, as Anthony said, I felt every shot had a bit behind it, and I think if anything, I got a little bit excited and started throwing a little bit more than necessary, and as a buddy said at the time, just take your time, don't be headhunting just yet kind of thing. But I landed a very good shot, and I think the question marks over me before that fight was how I was going to be at 175. Will he carry his power up? And I think I ticked those boxes, and I'm excited for the future and what's next.
It'll be interesting in that division though as well, isn't it? Now when you're above domestic level, I suppose. Anyway, you don't want to be where you've been. Yeah. You want to keep going up. Has it been like a surprise to you though? Because you've said a while ago, I remember you saying that you don't live for boxing. You can walk away from boxing. You're not obsessive about it. But as stepping up now and at your age, are you feeling that there is that final chapter?
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's people say, he doesn't live for boxing. Like I'm very dedicated to boxing. I do everything correct, and I do love boxing. I've just always had I think where I'm the youngest of four brothers, I've seen there's times of boxing where it's not a good sport, and at the lower levels, some of the fights you see, and then you realise what they're getting paid for it. You just think it is very tough. And ever since turning pro, I just had the mentality I'm going to get in, achieve what I want, and get out. And I'd like to retire early rather than late. And I've always had that mindset, and I still stick by that. And it's not that I don't enjoy it, it's just I want to be smart. I want to retire and be. I remember when Anthony retired, I remember sitting there thinking he's in a very good position, as in he's probably one of very few fighters who can be content and satisfied and happy that they achieved what they wanted to. Probably achieved more than he expected, and I don't think he'll ever. He's probably coming on, but I don't think he's ever got them regrets or doubts as in, I wondered if I could have done this or could have done this. Whereas I think if I would have retired after the Canelo loss, which a lot of people would expect me to do, a couple of years down the line I'd have kicked myself and think, you know what, you've always said you're big enough and good enough to be a 2-8 world champion. Why didn't you give it a go? So I know I've got stuff I need to achieve before I hang them up. I know I'm good enough to be a 2-8 world champion, and that is my reason why. That is my motivation, and you've got to want to do this sport, otherwise there's pointless doing it. And believe me, I have got those goals, and I'm very, very confident I can achieve them. And when I do retire, I do believe I'll be a happy, content person, and I won't miss boxing. I'll always be around boxing, but I'll know I'll have fully achieved what I was capable of.
Cal, do you think you'll be out before Christmas, or just wait?
I don't know. I'm going to speak to him this week and see what he says. But listen, I'd like to, if possible. I don't know what shows are available or what not, whether he put me on one or not. But I've been sitting here for a long time. I was laughing with my brothers yesterday, as in I always say I want to be active, and in my career you think I've fighting went missing and all that. I'm always in the gym. I'm not in. I think in my first year as a pro I had hand operations, and other than that I've never had an injury apart from obviously the arm, but for some reason I just haven't really been as active, and I think I worked out in my first 4 years as a professional I had 22 fights, and then in my last 5 I think I've had like 7 or something, and it's madness. And I know that the stakes are higher and the bigger fights and whatnot, but I haven't been as active, and I always felt I was at my best when I was active. I think every fighter is. I'd like to keep it that way, but now I've got a good team, and hopefully they can get me out pretty soon, and we can build on last week's performance.
Just both opinions, obviously, on the main event that we're here for, and of course you both know Liam very well. How do you kind of judge his demeanour? Because Eddie's spoken about it, and there was a little bit of needle from Joe McNally, I suppose, about how the fight came about, and again, it's just interesting, really. Is he mentally, do you think, absolutely in the right place for it? Because he has been at such a higher level and a world champ, and maybe wanted that world title fight again.
Yeah and no. I think what they were getting at is, I think if you would have announced Anthony Fowler v Cheeseman, you'd probably sit back and say that's a good fight to pick him. But then if you were to announce Liam v Cheeseman, you'd think, what does Liam gain out of that? Cheeseman's British champion. Yeah. Liam was British champion 7 years ago, I think. But I think the fact that they're both from Liverpool, I think they belted it, and it's got nothing to do with it. And I think in terms of Liam, that is his motivation. He can't lose to a man from his home city, regardless of what level or what titles on the line. I think that is his motivation. I don't think it's anything other than that. He's in a very good place. He has a really, really good camp. He's trained very well, and I think just bragging rights and pride are what's got him through this camp and what's at stake. He loses 20 Fowler, any ambitions of becoming a two-time world champion disappear. And yeah. I know, I'm very close to him as a brother, so I know he has got them goals. He wants to fight your Tim Tszyu and your champions and them type of fights. He can kiss all them goodbye if he loses this weekend. So it's a must-win fight for him, and his camp showed that. He's in a very good place physically and mentally, and hopefully the performance replicates that.
Yeah, no, listen, Liam, he's a very straight talker. And I think he's just sort of being honest. He knows that. He's like, it's not that. He believes he's a level above Anthony, and not in an arrogant way. He's just like, if I can't be beating him, I can't do those goals. And I think that's what, I think it can't be mistaken. It's not that Liam's, because one thing Liam's not is arrogant, but it's not that he's overlooking Fowler, but he's just being honest. He's in like, I'm here to win another world title. If I can't beat Anthony Fowler on Saturday night, I'm going to win another world title at light middle. And I think it's that simple, really. I think that's it, and I think he just wanted to get the point across again, and I think he's keen on letting Fowler know that as well. Do you know what I mean?
Just a couple of quick predictions before you let you go. Okay. So, with your own brother, I know you expect his arm to be raised. How does he do it?
I think he gets to him late. Being totally honest with you, I think it's a really good fight early on. I think Fowler, his amateur pedigree,
which you know all about.
You've got to respect that. He's a Commonwealth Games gold medalist. He's an Olympian. He can fight. I don't believe he's delivered as a professional for what people expected of him, but there's no reason why he can't. We've got to expect the best version of Anthony Fowler, but Anthony, I'll tell you, your first 12 rounders, it's tough. Questions start getting asked when you're in round 8, 9, 10, and it starts getting hard, and especially with, look, I've sparred Liam, and he makes you throw when you don't want to throw, and when you want to have your breathers, he's on you again, and he's very intelligent with how he does it, and he makes you fight at a pace you don't really want to fight at. And I just believe it's the last person you want to fight when you've never been there before and questions are getting asked. And I think the second half of the fight, Liam comes on strong, and I think he's a very good championship fighter, a very good 12-round fighter, and I think that'll be the difference.
And a final one, you're one of the big men now, you're getting bigger,
yeah.
But the big men over the pond, how's that go?
I think any heavyweight fighter, it's always interesting. I think the first fight showed Deontay Wilder can finish the fight at any point. I think the second fight was so one-sided, it's hard to look past Fury again. I just think mentally, how does Wilder come back from a beating? Like, it wasn't just a one-punch knockout. He bullied him for the full. He bullied him for the full fight, and I think as long as Fury's not complacent, I think he's still, as long as he respects Wilder's power and knows that he can still hurt him at any point in the fight, and he stays switched on, I think we'll see a repeat of the second fight.
You got anything else? Anything you need to know about Callum?
Mate, anything I need to know about him? Oh, just, how's life, how the improvement's going and stuff like that. And other than that, we're all good, mate. No, just hopefully he gets out, like I say, when Callum's active. But for me, just as a mate, like, he looked powerful again. And I know, like I say, I think it's a good first opponent at the weight, but there's he won't be hanging around too long before fighting for world titles. But he looks very dangerous again.
Get in there with Bivol next, that'd be good.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's what I want. I don't know if I was offered it next. I think, I said before, my ability, I always had that. I think to be a world champion at 168, I've got the ability to be a world champion at 175. I think just the question mark was, have I got the size and power to do it at the weight above? And I think that we can tick those boxes. So I'll take a world title fight next if I get it, or not. I'll beat whoever I have to get it. And no, I'm in a good place. I feel I'm still improving all the time, and I'm excited to get back in camp and progress and move forward. And no, I do believe I will win a world title and I'll be a 2-time world champion.
That's all Eddie's got to do. Bivol next. That'd be nice.